Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to Let's Play Stellaris as the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics in space now. So, last part we met the Amdirian Unity officially. We technically met them the part prior. Ooh, they are getting on a defensive stance. They've built a station here on our border. Okay, wow. They fear I might invade them. I would never do such a thing. Especially because they're a hive mind. I mentioned last part, I'm not a big fan of taking over hive minds. They're just generally annoying because you have to deal with the pops being undesirable, so you gotta have them get purged or whatever it is in your case. In our case, we're limited to displacement, which is effectively the same thing for hive minds as an actual purge. Because if hive minds don't have the, I don't know, the leader, whatever the name of the leader is. What do you call your leader? You call your leader hive mind. Okay, there you go. If the hive mind doesn't have its hive mind, they're not gonna really cut it. They just die. It's just the way it works in Stellaris. Same thing with machine intelligences. That's an old event.
Anomalous readings detected.
Go ahead and check that out. Is there going to be anything detrimental with Stellaris 3? Or can I make plans to colonize it in the near future?
System resources analyzed.
Oh, okay, we still get precursors. Even if we get the your homeworld is potentially doomed event chain. Okay, it's fine with me. We got the Eurasian Concordate, which isn't a new one, sadly. First League is, I believe, the new one. Or it might be an old one that got modified. I'm not 100% sure. I'll be completely honest with you on that. Either way, it's the one that grants you an Ecumenopolis world, or however the hell the term is pronounced. That's how I pronounce it. It's a funky word, to be honest. I don't really care for the Eurasian ones, I'll be honest. We've seen them so many times now. I'm gonna go ahead and send you down there. I could, you know what, no. You stay there, I'll just build a new construction ship. There's no reason for me not to have two. Especially since that will allow me to expand in two directions at once. Stellaris 3 has nothing bad. Wonderful. I think we'll be colonizing Stellaris 3 then. Because there's no reason not to. I will go ahead and pay to have those last two things cleared out. I will build a commercial zone as well. Explosions in the sky. The moon Procyon 4A is the home of a marvel of nature. Giant, colorful explosions appear in the sky, a result of the chemical composition of the atmosphere reacting to the sun's gamma rays. Students and senior scientists alike are spreading this find like a wildfire. It has generated quite the spark of interest for the scientific field amongst our people. Wonderful. Increase the survey speed. Somehow. Don't ask how. For 120 months. That's a decent amount of time. You head on down to Stellaris so that you can build the outpost as soon as possible. Are you almost done with Procyon? Yes, you are. Once you're done with Procyon, go over there. Once you're done with Stellaris, I will actually have you head down there.
System resources analyzed.
So Stellaris has volatile motes. Those are useful. Again, we have a decent amount of those. We have one over here in Arnth, one in Procyon. We have one over here in Hisao. We have another exotic gas over here in Silalu. Yeah, we're in a better position than I have been in the past when it comes to space-based strategic resources. Admittedly, these generally only give you one. They can sometimes spawn 2, 3, but it's generally very rare. They normally only spawn as a single one. And there are bonuses you can get to them, but generally speaking, if you want to get rare crystals, exotic gas, or volatile motes, you got to produce them on the planet or buy them through the market.
Resources analyzed.
At least that's been my experience. That's generally the only way to do it. So building a commercial zone will get us clerk jobs, which produce trade value and amenities, which is useful because we could use some extra amenities for one. But we didn't bother researching robots. Robots are fine, in my experience. Droids are the ones you gotta watch out for.
Detected.
Droids, if you're unprepared, can and will completely screw over your economy. I actually ended up abandoning a test game because I could not get my economy back on track after researching droids. And it took a couple of years for it to be screwed, so it probably wasn't just because of droids. It was a combination of factors. No, pause while I do this. No, we're not going to name it Chart. That's a terrible name for a planet. Bird, with an E rather than an I, no. Napasno? Sure, we'll call it Napasno. Should note, because I'm using a mod that added in a Space Russian name list, a lot of these planet names it's going to suggest I have no way of pronouncing. Or at the very least it'll be very difficult, just for the simple fact I don't speak Russian. Try and find a military use. It gives you a bonus to your next tier of shields. And in our case that would be tier 2 shields. It would give us a bonus too. And by bonus I mean a bonus to the research of it. It'll give you a bit of a head start. Energy production is generally what I always go with for this one, just because it's always useful throughout the entire game. It gives you, I believe it's plus 5% energy. It might be a little bit lower now. Previously it was plus 5%. I don't recall what it is now. Okay, it's still plus 5% energy credits from jobs that produce energy credits. So that includes merchants eventually, once we have the ability to have merchants as a job. Our energy development researchers have made progress with these samples we sent from Lukikyo 6A. I guess how that's, I don't know, wow. I'm renaming that system if we ever take it over. They've been able to develop a new type of solar cell using the organisms as a template. These are much more efficient at storing energy and will provide a boost to all our power plants, along with, again, merchants, once we have the ability to have merchants. But that's way out there. Game's not even going to tell us that merchants are a job right now. Okay, might be building another starport up there though as well. Okay, but we do have now 4 as a maximum. Wonderful. Research complexes require exotic gases. We have no way of acquiring exotic gases right now, so let's not go for that. Let's go for better lasers.
System resources analyzed.
These guys have upgraded their military slightly, added some more ships, upgraded their stuff. One of the 2.
Readings detected.
I know this simply because they are now up to being inferior in terms of fleet power rather than pathetic. Once you're done, go over there.
Construction complete.
One of our scientists gained resilient. Increases our lifespan by 25 years. That's very useful. Build a starport there, and they have closed their borders to us. And I shall close my borders. I won't declare you a rival just yet. Ooh, caravan. Ah, here we go. Yeah, translating explorer text. Send it to our homeworld for research. So, these are the Vengralian Triumph. Greetings from the Vengralian Triumph, certified caravaner traders of the Caravansary Caravan Coalition. It's a really fucked up name. We're in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves. Teamwork makes the dream work. Oh boy. We will offer you an exclusive deal whenever we pass through your territory, tempting as it may be. You don't have to accept right away. You can ask us to contact you again before we depart your space, and we will, but be aware that incoming calls will be rerouted to Caravansary Caravan Coalition. They forgot the in front of Caravansary. Greetings, caravanners. You can trust the Vengralian seal of quality. Show us your wares. We offer you a contingent of Vengralian Triumph sales technicians. Stationed across the starbases of your empires, they will adjust upward. Jealous competitors would say artificially inflate the trade value of all your systems. All this for the low price of 500 unity. Oh, well, unity I can afford. The mechanical process of zeitgeist absorption is poorly understood and can be unnerving, but it is completely harmless. So the contingent will live and work in your starbases, subsiding only on Triumph brand Nutripaste, and have no effect on your demographics or economy beyond their influence on trade value. Their assignment will last for 80 years, it's a decent length of time, and no longer. Increase trade value by 10% for the duration. Yes, this game has a couple of these issues where it says one thing but it means something else. It might actually be 10%, but the tooltip here for accepting says it's 15%. It's one of the two, or potentially neither. We'll find out when we accept, because we're going to accept. Because I like the idea of bonus trade value for 80 years, or 960 months. Deal. Pleasure doing business with you, and remember, don't dream it, be it.
System resources
And it is
analyzed.
15%. Their dialogue is wrong. The tooltip is right. Again, it could have been either or neither that was correct. I could build a station here. The Orlin Memorial Caravan entered the orbit of Earth for what should have been a brief courtesy visit today. A spontaneous outbreak of goodwill turned into a combination of open-air market and party. Many bonds between humans and Vengral were forged, and much trading took place. We gained 1,000 energy credits just for that. I've had them steal energy credits from me. Well, not these guys specifically, but I've had caravans steal energy credits from me. It's normally tiny amounts, like 200, but nonetheless. Yeah, I think we're actually going to be building the station here.
Construction complete.
Because then I only need to build a single trade hub, and I can give it some defensive structures.
Construction
Because I'm kind of
complete.
going to need them. Just for the simple fact that it's right on their border. These guys closed their borders to us, and then we closed ours to theirs, so war could break out. Is it going to happen anytime soon? Probably not. I'm going to set you to automatic at this point, though. But it could happen, so we need to prepare for that very real possibility. We encountered some more aliens. Oh, we have an actual alien down here. These are the avians, so presumably they are an avian portrait set. Okay, we might have to expand southeast-ish rather than
Construction
west.
finalized.
But we still have some time to figure this out. It's going to take those guys probably about a year to research us, which I'm pretty sure the AI
System
prioritizes.
resources analyzed.
Though I could be wrong about that. But I'm pretty sure the AI prioritizes meeting new people. I don't. I don't spend the research to do that. Also, you can blow up the caravans if you care to. I don't know what happens if you do. I've never done it. I probably should do it to the ones that steal energy credits from me every time they enter my system in my test game. A scan of the particularly massive asteroid UL1MU46 yields fascinating results. The rock's core is shot through with a network of conductive crystals carrying a weak electric charge. The crew on the Prax recognizes this matrix as a primitive neural lattice and believes the celestial body to be thinking in some capacity, if not fully sapient. They seek permission to excavate the core and transport it to the nearest orbital station for closer study. Make it so. Oh, that's here. Is it? Oh, or maybe it's nothing. Oh, they close their borders to me now. Once coaxed from beneath the crust of the asteroid, does not respond well to the vacuum of space. The Praxis instruments read a sudden energy spike moments before the rocky lump gently but decisively fractures. Large chunks of the conductive mineral are salvaged, but whatever spectral charge animated them is now gone. Well, that sucks. These guys have declared me their rival, so I shall declare them my rival.
System resources analyzed.
We shall be preparing for war. You go there. I'm going to set you to auto. So, looks like we'll be probably killing these guys in the future. Just to get them out of the way. If they're going to be declaring me a rival, they could try to stab me in the back in the future.
Progress.
Our colony ship has gently touched down at the mouth of a large river delta on one of the several continents that can be found on Napasno. This temperate, forested region will serve as an ideal first landing site. The ship has been permanently converted into the administrative yada yada yada. This is the same thing that pops up every time you form your first colony. Slight differences depending on the planet type, I believe, but it's generally the same thing. Let's see. Okay, we will have better coil guns in a little bit, along with off-world trading, or off-world trade companies rather, which we'll be building in Ardensil. We might have to go over our cap slightly for this though, actually, because I'm gonna want you there. I'm gonna want to upgrade you and potentially you as well. New coil guns, wonderful. Let's go ahead and get robots. Again, robots work fine for me. They don't screw over my economy or anything, and they help out. But for droids, yeah, we're gonna hold off on researching droids anytime they pop up. Just because they require a little bit extra work to be done. Before you're quite ready for them.
Together we will build a brighter future.
Go off-road trading company. You have dense jungle. I'm assuming it's because of you. Yes, and you are blocking a generator district. It's not really a big problem, and it's going to... Wow, our society research is crap. Holy crap. Let's go for biodiversity studies. Improve it just slightly. Because, yeah, it's real bad. It really is. And you will get an off-world trading company once I have the ability to build one, which will be for about 5 months. Okay, that that planet will produce a little bit extra minerals now. Well, not. It was going to produce none before. Now it will produce some.
Construction complete.
Ah, yes, and the reason it's going to take a while for that is because... Yes, because I went and upgraded Stellaris station so that it could have an actual starport so that I can go and get the trade value
System
from arms.
resources analyzed.
You know, Stellaris doesn't. Okay, now I'm trying to think. Let's see. So there's only 4 trade value at Arinth. And eventually Sol will have a higher level station. Although I'd rather Sol be comprised solely of shipyards, to be honest. Yeah, we'll keep Stellaris. Never mind. We met new people. Peaceful traders. Wonderful. I bring greetings from Oligarch Pierre Tatena, the undisputed ruler of the... I'm not pronouncing that syndicate. Oh, they're a criminal syndicate. Wonderful. First people I meet are a criminal syndicate. Well, technically second people, but, you know. First one that I can reasonably interact with in some capacity. Respect our borders and keep out of our affairs, and perhaps our mighty fleets will refrain from visiting your worlds. The way forward lies in our hands. Peaceful traders, my ass. They built a frickin' branch office on my capital. Ooh, okay, their fleet power is superior to mine. Yes, we're gonna wanna upgrade our fleet now, I think. Both with better weapons and just generally larger fleet. What I am, though, going to do real quick... How much does it cost to buy alloys? 5 each. Jesus, those things are expensive. Five energy credits to buy a single alloy. Yeah, yeah, change of plans, Stellaris. I need to upgrade my fleet. I need to build it up more as well, actually. Let's go for upgrade first, I think.
Construction complete.
You go over there. This criminal syndicate. So, because they're a criminal syndicate, they do not need a commercial pact to be able to build branch offices on our planets. As a result of that, they will try to improve crime, because they benefit from high crime. In fact, yeah, we got 15% here. I'm going to want to, as a result of that, I'm going to build a precinct house. Some people will be upgraded. Some of these workers will be automatically kicked up to being enforcers as a result of this. This is one of the reasons why I want robots, because they can do basically all the worker jobs. Well, I say that. They can only do farming and mining, but hey, you know what? It's something. Droids can do technicians, I believe, and clerks, along with a lot of specialist jobs as well. It's one of the reasons why droids can be a problem, because they'll take a lot of your specialist jobs. You will even have droids building droids. Yeah, they can do the roboticist job as well. But yeah, so they already are building a smuggler's port, which will improve crime by 50. Not 50%, but by 50 points. And so without a precinct house, I will have problems with crime. We're going to want to deal... We're either going to want to make it so that it is unprofitable to keep that branch office, which I have no real way of doing, I'll be honest, sadly. Even pushing crime down to 0% with tons of precinct houses doesn't result in them saying, okay, it's not profitable here anymore. it still remains profitable for them.
Ships upgraded.
But again, in their case, the higher the client, the more profitable it
System
is. So,
resources analyzed.
oh, that'll take you forever. Let's not do that. Holy crap, that's what, like a year and a quarter? Screw that. So we're going to want to deal with this criminal syndicate as soon as possible.
Construction
Now they're down to
finalized.
equivalent, so they won't be wanting to declare war on us anytime soon.
Anomalous readings detected.
That'll take you forever. Don't bother with it. That's, again, a long time. If it takes more than 180 days, I generally just say don't bother.
Anomalous readings detected.
Yeah, that's fine. How expensive is it to build anything? 108 for the, I don't know which one that is, for the missile corvette. We're going to want to take these two systems just to block these guys in our inevitable war. Although it looks like they can go up here as well, which is kind of annoying. But I don't think the AI will take that route. Especially if there's another empire up here, which I wouldn't be surprised by. I need to at least keep these guys at equivalent fleet power, and they won't want to declare war, generally speaking. I do kind of hope, though, that we meet somebody else that doesn't like these guys. Because then I can potentially ask them to join me in a war for Expel Corporation.
Complete.
I don't know actually really what you gain from this. I know it'll close their branch offices, but it claims that you will also expropriate their properties.
Construction
I assume it just means you'll get a bunch of energy credits,
Anomalous
but
readings detected.
I don't know for certain. I think my timer's almost up as well. Yeah, about 2 minutes left. I don't think we're going to meet anybody else this part, though, sadly. And again, I kind of wanted to. Again, somebody who wants to deal with this syndicate just as much as I do. And I assume expel, when I expel their branch office, it will make it so that they can't build a new one in my territory for a certain amount of time, probably the duration of the truce. Which by the end of it, they may not care to do so. They may not care to build it anyway. Because I believe branch offices do increase empire size. Along with some other stuff as well, I believe.
Construction finalized.
Wonderful. Go over there. This planet will probably be an agri-world, just for the simple fact that it has quite a few agricultural districts. I will say this though, as far as I know, there is already sort of a meta when it comes to your economy. Trade value effectively ends up being king. So, because if you have a lot of trade value, you have a lot of energy credits. If you have a lot of energy credits, you can buy basically anything else you need. Or anything that you're running low on, which is basically how my test game is going right now. I have a lot of energy credits.
System resources analyzed.
Along with a sizable income of energy credits.
System resources analyzed.
Resulting in me generally just buying any resources that I don't have enough of. And this test game will probably eventually end up in that same, or at least similar situation. Again, it's just the case of that's how the game works. Energy credits are a very versatile resource. The other things, they have uses.
Complete.
But again, it's just that they have uses. And they're fairly specific uses. Minerals are used for building buildings and other, well, just any sort of building really, whether it be in space or on a planet. Food is used for pops as upkeep. Consumer goods are also used as pops for upkeep. Minerals are used to produce robots, consumer goods, alloys, and that's it. Alloys are only used for building outposts or ships. Consumer goods are used as popkeep as well, like I said. Actually, I think consumer goods are also used for production of Unity. I believe if you have a
anomalous readings detected.
Yeah, go and research that. Or if you have any cultural worker job, use consumer goods to produce Unity and society. Also, that should be a couple of enforcers. Again, still not quite enough to deal with this. I could launch an anti-crime campaign, which means I have to pay my enforcers more, but they do more crime reduction. I think we're going to do that, though. Again, I want to make it so they want to leave. I read in the beta patch notes for 2.2.2, before I end this part, they're changing it to where, I guess, when a MegaCorp decides it's no longer profitable to keep a branch office, they'll wait a year before closing it. Rather than, I guess, the way it works right now is a day, but I mean, I would love it if me, as the owner of a planet, had some way to tell if it was unprofitable for MegaCorp to keep a branch office. As far as I can tell, there is no way to do that. I can look. Oh. Sorry about that, I had to mute the mic, my dog was barking. But as I was saying, I mean, I can look at the branch value, but it never goes negative. It's always positive in some capacity or another. So again, I kind of wish there was a way for me to tell, but there's no way for me to tell. So for me as the player, it's entirely hidden when the AI thinks a branch office is no longer worth keeping. I wish there was a way for me to tell, because again, that branch office value is always a positive value. I've never seen it go negative. I don't even think it's possible as a result of that. But yeah, so they're changing it to, apparently MegaCorp right now would close a branch office at a day if they don't think it's worth keeping. But now it's being changed to a year. But again, I wish I could tell when they think it's unprofitable to keep it, because I can't. Branch office value is always a positive value as far as I can tell. But nonetheless, that'll be it for this part. I will see you all in the next one, where we will be probably just building up our, fortifying our position, building up our navy, because now we have a rival to our north, a criminal syndicate to our south, who we're probably going to want to beat the crap out of as soon as physically possible. Just to kick them out of our territory, because they're probably also preparing to build a branch office on Napsano as soon as it is finished colonizing. Because it's the AI, it'll do it like instantly. As a player, it would take a while to realize that there's a new planet to build it on, and they're going to want to get in early, because then they'll get the most value out of it to a degree, because I can't build a precinct house until I have a slot open, which won't happen until I have 5 pops. But nonetheless, like I said, that'll be it for this part. I will see you on the next one. Quick reminder, I do have a Patreon. I'll link that down in the description if you wish to become one. It helps the channel out. If you do become one, you get early access to all my videos. How early, that depends slightly on when the video would typically go public. But I generally put them up on Saturday or Sunday. Link in the description also to a Google form if you want to have a leader named after you. But that's going to be it for this part. I will see you all in the next one. But until then, goodbye and farewell.